Have you ever held something in your hand that felt ordinary, but in truth, it could change your life forever? Something that looks like a simple old quarter, yet hides a value so shocking that collectors would travel across states just to get a glimpse of it. Welcome to True Coin Value, where hidden treasures aren't found in pirate chests. They're sitting quietly inside old jars, drawers, and coin albums across America. Today, I'm about to reveal 5 standing Liberty quarters so rare, so outrageously valuable, that one of them could turn your small change into a small fortune. These aren't just coins. These are pieces of American history forged in silver, sealed with time, and blessed by rarity itself. But here's the twist. Most people have no idea they exist. You might be holding one right now and not even realize the treasure you possess. So, stay glued till the very end, because I promise you, by the time we uncover coin number 1, you will look at every single quarter in your hand differently forever. Let's dive straight into the world of legends, mystery, and unimaginable worth. Starting with a standing Liberty quarter that hides one of the most breathtaking secrets in American coinage history. Coin number 1. There's a certain kind of silence that echoes when you hold a century-old coin in your hand. Not the silence of emptiness, but of history speaking softly through time. The 1924 standing Liberty quarter isn't just silver. It's a time capsule, a whisper from an America roaring through the 1920s. Minted in San Francisco, marked with that bold, proud S, this quarter carries a story that even veteran collectors chase like a shadow. It's one of those coins that feels alive, as though it knows it has survived against all odds. The standing Liberty quarter was first introduced in 1916, right in the heart of a changing America. Designed by sculptor Herman A. McNeil, this coin was a symbol of strength and freedom. Lady Liberty stands tall on the obverse, holding a shield in one hand and an olive branch in the other, guarding peace but ready for battle. Now imagine it. The year is 1924. The jazz age is pulsing. The stock market is booming, and the San Francisco Mint releases a limited run of these quarters. But few knew that among these coins, a rare batch was struck with unique die characteristics, an incredibly small mintage, and sharp details that make them stand apart even today. This wasn't just a coin for commerce, it was a message in metal, crafted at a time when America was redefining its strength, its art, and its identity. But as decades rolled by, most of these coins vanished, melted during silver recalls, lost in circulation, or worn beyond recognition. That's what makes any surviving 1924 standing Liberty quarter in good condition a legend in itself. What makes this coin so hypnotic to collectors? First, that S mint mark tucked subtly beside the date. It's a tiny letter, but it separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The details on Lady Liberty's gown, the depth in her shield, and the full strike of the date digits all matter more than you could imagine. The San Francisco Mint was notorious for uneven strikes in the 1920s. So, finding one where every star, every fold, and every curve is crisp and clear is like finding perfection born out of imperfection. Under a collector's lens, the brilliance of this silver beauty almost feels like moonlight captured on metal, rare, ethereal, and forever enchanting. Here's where the chase becomes thrilling. Out of the millions of standing Liberty quarters minted across the years, only a tiny fraction of the 1924 survive in very good or higher condition. Most are heavily worn, their designs faded by time and touch. But those few shimmering survivors, they are collector magnets. Every serious U.S. numismatist dreams of adding this specific piece to their vault. Its scarcity fuels bidding wars in major coin auctions, and its condition can skyrocket its value faster than you can imagine. Collectors don't just buy this coin for silver, they buy it for the story, the status, and the unshakable sense of owning a true American masterpiece. And now, the truth that leaves jaws dropped every time it is revealed. A 1924 standing Liberty quarter, in very good condition, like the one described here, is currently valued at around $326,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right, over $326,000. That's not pocket change, that's a treasure. A single quarter, a symbol of freedom, now worth more than a lifetime of average savings. And the value? It is climbing every single year. Collectors are hunting these coins like eagles over prey. The more time passes, the fewer remain, and that means the price keeps rising. Don't take this as fiction. This is the truth of rarity. The market knows what it's worth, and it rewards those who recognize its power. If you own one of these, you're not holding a coin. You're holding a piece of American fortune. If you're hunting for standing Liberty quarters, focus on detail. Look for full-date visibility, crisp edges, and strong strikes around the letter S mint mark. Examine the shield and gown. Sharp definition means stronger value. And remember, authenticity and condition are everything. Avoid polished or cleaned coins. They lose their charm and historical essence. Let them age naturally. Every tiny mark tells a story older than all of us. Stay patient, stay watchful, and most importantly, stay curious. Rare coins find the hands of those who respect their legacy. So when you next see a dull silver quarter from the 1920s, look again. It might just be whispering history's greatest secret. The 1924 standing Liberty quarter isn't merely valuable, it's a monument to time itself. A relic that survived wars, recessions, and generations only to stand today as a gleaming testament to America's golden age of coinage. And who knows, maybe your next handful of change holds a treasure waiting to be rediscovered. Because on True Coin Value, we don't just talk about money, we uncover stories that make history come alive every single day. Stay tuned, stay subscribed, and remember your next discovery could be worth more than gold. Next up, now let's step a little further back in time to an era when America was rebuilding, roaring, and rewriting its destiny. A time when silver wasn't just currency, it was confidence. And hidden within that era lies one of the most mesmerizing, elusive, and downright mystical coins ever struck, the 1920 standing Liberty quarter. This coin is not just old, it's sacred metal molded by history itself. The S mint mark, gleaming proudly beneath the date, tells a story few ever knew. The story of San Francisco's secret masterpiece. This isn't just another quarter. This is a symbol of the endurance of liberty itself. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the world in 1920. The Great War had just ended. The American spirit was shifting from hardship to hope. Jazz was rising. Cities were glowing with new life. In the middle of that, the standing Liberty quarter was already making headlines. A coin that dared to show Lady Liberty not as a distant goddess, but as a living, breathing guardian of freedom. Designed by Herman A. McNeil, this quarter carried a message for a new era. Liberty stands tall, vigilant with her shield, but open-hearted with her olive branch, always ready to protect peace, yet unafraid to fight for justice. And the San Francisco Mint, symbolized by that small yet powerful S, struck only a limited batch of these coins in 1920. What few people realized back then was that the mint's striking quality varied dramatically, making strong, sharply detailed examples incredibly scarce, even when they were first produced. Most of them entered circulation, clinking through decades of everyday life, worn down until the fine details vanished into history. But a few, just a few, survived in extremely fine condition, crisp, glowing, powerful. And those survivors today, they are not just coins. They are treasures that even seasoned collectors call once-in-a-lifetime discoveries. Here's where things get fascinating. Every coin tells a story through its design, but this one, it sings it. The 1920s Standing Liberty Quarter reveals Lady Liberty in her most striking form. You can see the fabric of her robe fluttering like the wind still moves through it, her shield glinting with defiance, and her eyes facing forward with confidence. On the reverse, the majestic American eagle soars between stars, its wings outstretched, symbolizing the nation's courage and flight toward greatness. And that tiny S mint mark under the date? That's your clue to rarity. It separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, the common from the collector's dream. Every line, every curve, every edge on this coin defines craftsmanship from a golden era, a time when metal wasn't just shaped, it was sculpted into legacy. But beware, most 1920s quarters were weakly struck. Finding one with full detail, especially around the shield, stars, and date, is almost mythical. That's why every extremely fine piece that still exists today is like a miracle in silver. Now this is where the real thrill begins. When you mention the 1920s Standing Liberty Quarter in collector circles, you can almost feel the room change. Eyes widen, voices lower, because this coin isn't just rare, it's legendary. Only a tiny fraction of the original mintage has survived in such pristine condition. Most have long been lost to melting, circulation, or damage. Those that remain are guarded by collectors and investors who know exactly what they are holding. A timeless token that connects the art of minting with the soul of America. In today's world, where modern minting is machine-perfect and mass-produced, coins like the 1920s stand as sacred relics touched by time, weathered by hands, yet still shimmering like a silver heartbeat from a century ago. Collectors chase it not only for its rarity, but because it represents something money can't buy, the honor of owning a tangible piece of freedom. And now, here comes the truth that stuns even professional collectors every single time. A genuine 1920s Standing Liberty Quarter, in extremely fine condition, like the one described here, is commanding a jaw-dropping $338,500 in today's market. Yes, you heard it right, $338,500. That's not an estimate, not an exaggeration. That's the real, current value that's leaving collectors breathless. It's a treasure of silver and time, a reward for the few who truly recognize history's worth. And here's the most exciting part. This value isn't slowing down. It's rising. Every single year, as fewer of these coins are found and more disappear into private collections, the market becomes hungrier. So if you ever stumble upon a Standing Liberty Quarter bearing that proud little S from 1920, handle it like a crown jewel, because that's exactly what it is. This is not fiction. This is fact. It's a treasure that can make you feel like you've just discovered a piece of the American dream itself. If you're hunting for a 1920s, here's your insider wisdom straight from the heart of numismatics. Always look for clarity in the date and shield. The sharper the features, the higher the value. Check for the mint mark placement and avoid any signs of cleaning or artificial polishing. The natural patina, the untouched tone of old silver, is what makes collectors' hearts race. And always, always get your coins certified by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. Documentation isn't just paper, it's your key to unlocking its true worth. Patience, knowledge, and a sharp eye will guide you toward treasures others overlook. That's how legends are found. The 1920s Standing Liberty Quarter is more than a coin. It's a messenger from America's past. It carries the courage of a post-war nation, the artistry of a generation that believed beauty could be minted, and the rare power of a symbol that never fades. Every scratch, every glint, every tiny imperfection tells a story, not of loss, but of survival. And if you're one of the few who ever get to see or hold one, realize this: you're not just touching silver, you're touching history's heartbeat. Because here on True Coin Value, we don't chase myths, we reveal miracles. We bring you freshly updated, daily discoveries that might just turn your ordinary pocket change into a priceless piece of American legacy. So stay tuned, because the next coin we reveal might just be the one that rewrites everything you thought you knew about value, rarity, and treasure. Next up, 1929. A year the world would never forget. The year the music of the Roaring Twenties suddenly fell silent. The year fortunes vanished overnight and history changed forever. But in that same year, amid the chaos and the whisper of destiny, the Denver Mint struck something remarkable. Something so beautiful, so hauntingly pure, that even today it feels like a silver echo from America's golden past. It's called the 1929 Standing Liberty Quarter. And it's not just a coin, it's the last heartbeat of an era that dared to dream big, shine bright, and stand tall before the world turned dark. Most people will never even see one in their lifetime. But for those who have, it's unforgettable. The Standing Liberty Quarter was already an American icon by 1929, a masterpiece designed by sculptor Herman A. McNeil, who poured the nation's ideals into silver. Lady Liberty stood proudly on the obverse, shield raised, olive branch extended, symbolizing both courage and peace. The message was clear: freedom must be protected, but peace must be pursued. By 1929, the coin's design had been slightly modified to show Liberty's chainmail-covered body, a subtle yet powerful reminder of strength during uncertain times. But this was no ordinary year. 1929 marked the end of an era. The final year Standing Liberty Quarters were minted before America's economy collapsed into the Great Depression. When the Denver Mint struck its D-marked coins that year, no one knew that the Standing Liberty design would soon vanish, replaced forever by the Washington Quarter in 1932. That makes the 1929 D not just a coin, but the final breath of a legend. A farewell to one of the most beautifully designed coins in the United States. History. And as time marched on, this particular issue became rarer and rarer, a relic from the edge of two worlds, one of prosperity and one of despair. The 1929 D Standing Liberty Quarter carries a kind of elegance that no modern coin can match. Its grey-toned layers, formed naturally over nearly a century, give it a haunting beauty, as if time itself has gently painted its surface. Look closely, and you will see the fine artistry that makes this coin so captivating. Liberty's gown flows in graceful motion. The shield's lines stand bold and confident, and the stars that frame her form glimmer with life under good lighting. The D-Mint mark, stamped just below the date, is your badge of authenticity, the symbol of Denver's craftsmanship during America's most transformative decade. Every detail matters: the strike clarity, the surface preservation, the tone of the metal. A beautiful grey patina like this one is not damage. It's evidence of survival, proof that the coin lived a long life without losing its character. Collectors adore this coin, not just for how it looks, but for what it represents. The balance between strength and grace, between history and endurance. Here's where things get truly exciting. When you bring up the 1929 D Standing Liberty Quarter in collector circles, the room changes. Every expert knows this coin is one of the crown jewels of the Standing Liberty series. Although the 1929 D had a moderate mintage, very few survived in exceptional condition. Decades of circulation wore most of them smooth. Many were melted down or lost during the Great Depression, never to be seen again. So when one surfaces in beautiful condition with those grey layers, clear design details, and a powerful presence, it instantly becomes the center of attention at auctions and collector showcases. Numismatists and investors alike know that this coin doesn't just hold value, it creates value. It is a magnet for demand. It is a coin that commands respect and ignites bidding wars. Owning one is like holding the last heartbeat of a bygone era, the end of the Standing Liberty line, and the beginning of America's modern coinage age. And now, here's where reality meets astonishment. A genuine 1929 D Standing Liberty Quarter, in beautiful, high-end condition like the one described here, currently commands an astonishing $323,000 in today's market. Yes, over $323,000. That's not just a price tag, that's a treasure mark. A reward for those who can spot the difference between a coin and a legacy. And here's the part that gives collectors chills. The market for this coin is climbing every single year. The 1929 D is no longer just an antique. It's an appreciating asset, a historical investment wrapped in silver. Its value is rising faster than most people realize. Every year, its rarity deepens, its story grows stronger, and its prestige among collectors intensifies. Don't take this as fiction, this is fact. The 1929 D Standing Liberty Quarter is one of those treasures that could make even the most seasoned collector stop, stare, and whisper, "That's the one." If you're ever lucky enough to search for a Standing Liberty Quarter, focus your eyes like a treasure hunter. Look for the D mint mark, clarity in the date, and definition in Liberty's shield and gown. Check under different light angles to spot the original luster and the natural toning. And remember, never polish or clean it. The natural grey layering is its magic. It tells the story of time. Certification by PCGS or NGC is essential for such a treasure. It protects your find and proves authenticity for generations to come. Collectors with patience and precision often find what others overlook. And those who do, they are the ones who end up discovering history's silent riches. The 1929 D Standing Liberty Quarter stands today not just as silver, but as a survivor. It's the final song of a nation's artistic masterpiece, struck just before the curtain fell on prosperity. Every gleam, every shade of grey, every delicate detail reminds us that beauty can endure even through the darkest storms. So, when you hold this coin in your hand, remember, you are holding more than metal. You're holding America's heartbeat preserved in silver, strengthened by time, and valued beyond imagination. Because here on True Coin Value, we don't just count coins, we uncover the soul of history, one rare treasure at a time. Stay tuned, because the next Standing Liberty Quarter we reveal might just outshine them all, and its story will leave you speechless. Next up, imagine holding a coin that was born in the shadow of war and survived a century of storms, untouched, unwavering, and unspeakably beautiful. That's not imagination. That's the 1919 Standing Liberty Quarter, a coin so rare, so pure in its artistry, that even the most seasoned collectors stop in silence when they see it. And here's the twist. This coin bears no mint mark. It was struck in Philadelphia, the beating heart of American coinage, and every single piece minted that year carried the weight of history on its tiny silver shoulders. But what makes the 1919 no-mint quarter truly unforgettable is not just its age or its design, it's the story it carries. A story that bridges war and peace, scarcity and beauty, time and treasure. Music rises cinematic strings. Brace yourself, because what you're about to hear might change how you look at every old quarter you've ever held. The year was 1919. The echoes of World War I were fading, soldiers were returning home, and America was standing on the edge of a new chapter. The U.S. Mint, eager to reflect that spirit of resilience and rebirth, continued the production of one of its most breathtaking creations, the Standing Liberty Quarter, designed by Herman A. McNeil. This coin wasn't just currency, it was a statement. Lady Liberty stands tall at the center, shield in one hand, olive branch in the other, not as a symbol of peace alone, but as a guardian ready to protect that peace. The 1919 issue was struck at a time when silver was scarce and minting precision was delicate. Many coins left the presses with weak strikes, faint details, faded lines. But every now and then, one coin emerged with perfect balance, strong features, full design, and a surface so finely detailed it looked sculpted rather than struck. Those are the coins that collectors whisper about the survivors that made it through a century without losing their beauty. And the 1919 Philadelphia issue is one of the finest of them all. At first glance, the 1919 Standing Liberty Quarter may seem simple, but the closer you look, the more it reveals. It carries soft grey waves across its surface, a natural toning pattern formed by decades of gentle oxidation and age. Those waves aren't flaws, they're the fingerprints of time, proof that this coin has lived through generations. Lady Liberty's figure remains graceful yet fierce, her stance commanding, her gaze forward. The shield she carries bears 13 stars, representing the original colonies, while the olive branch symbolizes a nation striving for peace in a turbulent world. On the reverse, the majestic eagle cuts across the sky, a symbol of strength, courage, and unbreakable American spirit. And here's something only true collectors know. The 1919 issue had one of the lowest survival rates among Standing Liberty quarters. Most of them wore down fast in circulation, their fine details erased by the passage of time. But when one appears today in very pretty condition, with its grey waves shimmering like moonlight on metal, it is nothing short of breathtaking. Now here's where the story deepens. Among Standing Liberty quarters, the 1919 no-mint issue holds a place of near mystical reverence. Collectors call it the whisper coin because it hides in plain sight with no mint mark to signal its origin, yet it carries immense value. It's often mistaken for an ordinary quarter by untrained eyes, but experts know, once you see the sharp lines of Liberty's gown, the defined shield, and those untouched surfaces, you're looking at something extraordinary. In today's numismatic world, demand for this coin is soaring. It's one of those rare finds that makes collectors' hearts race, not because of hype, but because of what it represents. Survival, purity, and perfection born from an era of uncertainty. The 1919 Standing Liberty Quarter has become a status symbol among collectors, a badge of honor, a silent statement of elite taste and deep historical appreciation. Owning one isn't about owning silver, it's about owning a story that the world forgot and time could never destroy. And now the moment of truth. Hold your breath, because this will shake your expectations. A 1919 Standing Liberty Quarter without a mint mark in very pretty, well-preserved condition like this one, is currently valued at a staggering $345,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right, over $345,000. That's not fantasy. That's reality. This coin is no less than a treasure, a shining testament to the power of rarity, history, and artistry combined. Collectors have watched its value climb year after year, and it shows no signs of slowing down. Each time one appears at an auction, bidding wars ignite instantly. Every hand raised in that room knows they're not just fighting for a coin, they're fighting for a piece of American legacy. Don't take this as fiction. This is truth forged in silver. A piece that could turn an ordinary collection into a legendary one. The kind of treasure that makes you realize sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest fortunes. If you're ever hunting for a 1919 Standing Liberty quarter, look carefully at the finer details. Make sure the date is sharp, the shield is clear, and the overall surface has not been cleaned or polished. That gentle grey wave across the metal, that's what gives it soul. Seek coins certified by PCGS or NGC, as professional grading adds credibility and guarantees authenticity. And remember, these treasures are few. Patience, research, and attention to detail will guide you toward them. The best collectors aren't just buyers, they're historians, storytellers, and protectors of time. The 1919 Standing Liberty quarter is more than a coin. It's a survivor of a century that reshaped the world. It carries the memory of war and peace, hardship and hope, strength and grace. It's a coin that doesn't shout its value, it whispers it, softly but powerfully. And those who recognize it, those who truly listen, become part of a story far greater than themselves. Here on True Coin Value, we uncover these hidden masterpieces every single day. Fresh updates, real stories, and the truth behind America's most legendary treasures. Because every time you hold a coin like this one, you're not just holding silver. You're holding a piece of America's soul. Next up, every once in a while a coin surfaces that seems almost too perfect to exist. A coin born in silence, forgotten by time, yet destined to shine brighter than ever before. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1921 Standing Liberty quarter, a piece so rare, so hauntingly beautiful, that even among collectors, it is spoken of in reverence, almost like myth. Minted without a mark, yet carrying the unmistakable signature of American greatness, this 1921 quarter is the crown jewel of the Standing Liberty series. A coin forged in the aftermath of struggle and polished by a century of time. The year was 1921. America was standing between two eras, the recovery from war and the dawn of roaring change. The nation was healing, industries were booming, and silver coinage was once again finding its way back into the hands of the people. But something unusual happened that year. The U.S. Mint drastically reduced quarter production just enough to meet demand, but far too little to make them common. In fact, only a tiny number of 1921 Standing Liberty quarters were ever struck. And among those, only a handful survived in beautiful, well-preserved condition. These coins weren't just rare, they were almost mythical. Collectors today call them the ghost year quarters because they appear so rarely, many go their entire lives without seeing one in person. Take a close look, and you will see why the Standing Liberty quarter remains one of the most artistic coins ever produced. Lady Liberty stands tall and fearless, guarding America's promise of freedom. Her shield held high, her olive branch extended toward peace. But the 1921 issue adds something deeper, a dark, rich black layering across its surface, a patina formed by time itself. Those dark tones are not blemishes. They're stories. They tell of the years this coin traveled, the pockets it touched, the history it quietly witnessed. The contrast between the silver shine beneath and the dark overtones above gives this coin an almost ethereal beauty, like moonlight piercing through clouds. And because this coin has no mint mark, it carries the purity of the Philadelphia Mint, the birthplace of American coinage, where history was pressed into metal one strike at a time. Here's where things get truly mind-blowing. Among all standing Liberty quarters, the 1921 issue is one of the rarest, least produced, and most sought after. Collectors crave it, not only for its scarcity, but because it marks the final low mintage year before a complete design change. By 1925, Liberty's exposed figure was modified, making earlier coins like the 1921 a one-of-a-kind relic of America's bolder artistic past. And let's not forget, most of these coins didn't survive the decades. Those that did often suffered heavy wear, corrosion, or cleaning damage. That's why finding a 1921 standing Liberty quarter in very beautiful, original condition with those natural black layers intact is like uncovering a lost artifact from another world. When one appears on the market, the atmosphere changes. Collectors whisper, eyes widen, and the bidding begins. Every numismatist knows what is at stake. This coin is not just a collectible, it is a statement. And now brace yourself. Because this tiny piece of silver, weighing just over 6 grams, carries a value that could rewrite your idea of spare change. In today's market, a 1921 standing Liberty quarter without a mint mark, in beautiful, preserved condition with its unique black layers, can fetch an astonishing $340,500. Yes, over $340,000 for a single quarter. That's not just a number, that's a legacy. A coin that once bought a loaf of bread, now worth more than a house. Every year, as collectors hunt for the few remaining survivors, its price inches higher, driven by scarcity, beauty, and historical power. This is not just a coin, it's a time machine made of silver. A treasure born from the early 20th century, surviving the Great Depression, World War II, and 100 years of history, now resting in the hands of the lucky few who truly understand its worth. If you're ever fortunate enough to come across a 1921 standing Liberty quarter, remember these expert tips. Do not clean or polish it. That black toning, those natural layers, are what make it precious. Verify authenticity with a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. Look for sharp strike details. Liberty's head, the shield lines, and the eagle's wings should be clear and crisp. Preserve it carefully. Store in a cool, dry, airtight holder to prevent further toning. Remember, a coin like this isn't just valuable, it's irreplaceable. The 1921 standing Liberty quarter is not just silver, it's soul. It's a symbol of beauty born from adversity, artistry born from faith, and history preserved in metal. It's the kind of coin that turns ordinary collectors into legends and casual curiosity into lifelong passion. Every mark, every tone, every shadow tells a story. The story of America rising, standing, and never fading. So if you ever stumble upon an old quarter, don't just glance, look closer. Because who knows? You might just be holding a fortune in your fingertips or a forgotten masterpiece from 1921.